Okie dokie. We're going to solve some right triangles. I'm going to show you some quick up here on the board. Make sure you feel comfortable with this here business. So notice, calculator in degrees. Yes, you do mean degrees. Whatever you're doing in math, make sure you're in degrees when you come in here. If you reset your calculator, it resets to radians, so go to degrees. Second off, we will often talk about right triangles. In fact, what I'd like you to do is see the invisible right triangle, where sometimes there is not actually a triangle. Now, there's some tips here. Triangle geometry need to solve. You'll check those out as you go. Let's just get to the basics over here. There's a few things. A right triangle has one right angle, of course. The area of a triangle, it's in your reference table on page 5. If you haven't gotten it, you will. Area is 1/2 base times height. Of course. Let's see down here. Okay. One of the things I want you to worry about is called the 2-point format. So I'm going to show you part of this, and then you're going to do it. Let's look at question 39. Solve for sides A and C. So A and C. And we're going to do this in a 2-point format. So 2-point format. Step 1. You need your givens. You need what's provided to you. So what's provided to you here, you know that there's an angle, 35 degrees. You know there's a length here that's 8 meters. And let's pick a side we're trying to find. So we're trying to find, let's say we're trying to find side A first, okay? Now, hopefully you remember from the past, when you have an angle on a side, you're looking for another side. This is SOHCAHTOA, which you can do from your reference table, page 5. Anyway, SOHCAHTOA, if you put yourself at the position of the angle, here it is 35 degrees. Side A is adjacent. The 8-meter side is opposite. So this is the adjacent. You should label that. This is the opposite. You should label that. And always across from the right angle is the hypotenuse. You should label that. You should label that so that you don't make a mistake while you're working. So over here, if you list, what do I have? Well, I know my angle is 35 degrees. I know that the adjacent side, that's side A. We don't know what that is in meters. We have the opposite side. That's 8 meters. And so we're trying to find this adjacent. That's really our question mark. That's our unknown. The equation that we're going to do here, when you have an angle, adjacent, and opposite, OA, if you go back to your SOHCAHTOA, that's OA and the angle. That's OA and the angle. That's tangent right there. So your equation, part of your step 1 is put your givens, put the information that's provided to you, and then also put the unsubstituted equation. Tan of theta equals opposite over adjacent. That is the unsubstituted equation. And so now, step 2, substitute. We've got everything we need. So let's substitute. Here, you could have, what do we know? Tan, 35 degrees, equals, opposite is 8 meters, over the adjacent we don't know. Maybe we just call that A, because that's what it is. Another step you can take, by the way, not required, but a good idea, is actually to rearrange this equation ahead of time. So actually rearrange it to solve for adjacent ahead of time. The way you would do that, this is a cross multiply scenario. You would end up with the adjacent equals opposite over tan theta. And so then when you substitute down here, you would actually be all set. A equals 8 meters over tan 35 degrees. Regardless of how you have it set up, step 3, we don't actually need to see the intermediate step. You should do it, but I'm not grading it. You should actually put it on the paper because I can see if you made a mistake. You just have to solve this. So when you solve this, A equals, you do the math. Let's see, do I have a calculator out handy? 8 meters divide tan 35. Okay, let's try that out. 8 divide. I got 11.4 meters. The unit here is meter, so 11.4 meters. Good, done. Now, because this is a 2 sig fig problem, really, this is 11 meters. That's really the proper way to put this. So what I'd like you to do is 2-point format, figure out side C. That's how 2-point format looks. Now, coming down here, you can do the same game for question 40. 2-point format. You're going to solve for side X, and you're also going to solve for the angle. Now, beware solving for this angle. I'll give you a little heads up. You can use sine, cosine, or tangent. It doesn't really matter. However, you're going to have to do the inverse function, okay? The inverse trig. And then Beware, some of you might actually recognize the side X without doing any math because you see it's a special right triangle. However, you still have to, when you are asked to show 2-point format, you still have to show your math. So in this case, you're probably best off trying Pythagorean's theorem. Let's see if I need you to do anything on the next page. Yeah, we'll do question 41 and you're going to stop there. Question 41 with 2-point format, you're going to determine the triangle areas from questions 39 and 40. So if you come back over here, 39's got an area, 40's got an area. Do both of those and use your 2-point format. Do your A equals 1/2 base times height. So set everything up that you need. Tomorrow we're going to look that over. We're going to try to make sure that we're actually sharp with our 2-point format. All right, so you're going up through question 41 there. That's it. Don't do the bottom half of the page.